Hello, everybody. Welcome back to English Champion. On this episode, I'm going to get in the weeds a little bit from an academic standpoint. I don't mean to exclude people or people who tune in for more basic, lower level education ideas or academic tips or anything like that. This is at the higher education level, university level, and it's something that many people don't think about and many people don't know about. If you're outside of academia, you may not understand that this is what goes on. And so I'm going to give you a little glimpse into the real state of academia that no one ever talks about, okay? Now, the reason that I thought of this and it has come to my attention is I get emails from the Chronicle of Higher Education, even though I stopped subscribing to them this past year. It's too expensive for how little you get out of it. But for a long time, I was a subscriber because I constantly want to know what's going on with universities. And again, for what they charge, it's just not worth it. But I still get emails from them. And so I saw an email come across my inbox, and I clicked on it because it was about professional development opportunities. Now, of course, professional development takes place at all levels of education, K through college. And what that means to certain people could depend on the context you're in. But for the Chronicle of Higher Education, when they say professional development, as I looked at their list of programs that had been going on this summer and then are going on into the fall, I realized, there's a pattern here. When people in higher education talk about professional development, what they really mean is one thing. It's not about the real foundation of education, which is teaching and learning and scholarship and helping students. No. It's about one thing. I want to see if you can tell what all of these programs have in common. So I clicked on this link and I was curious, maybe there's something interesting. I want to see what is going on in the culture. What are professors, what are administrators up to these days? And what are they talking about at these development seminars and programs? So I click on them, and the first thing I see is this list that I'll link to for you. The first one on the list, the Chronicle's Leadership Transformation Collaborative. All right, Leadership Transformation Collaborative. I have no idea what those words mean. So you read the description. It says, navigating today's complex higher ed landscape isn't simply about learning new concepts. The Chronicle, in partnership with Strategic Imagination, is providing a professional development program in which a virtual community will accompany you through the fall semester. The program contains brief lessons and exercises that can be integrated into your busy schedule and applied to your current challenges. Okay? Accompany me how? Lessons and exercises about what? Applied to what challenges? There's no detail here. So you click on it, try to find out more of what this is about. And it says, just one more paragraph, each element of our Leadership Transformation Collaborative is designed to provide you with practical tools and a supportive environment to enhance your leadership skills and address the challenges you face daily. We'll bring fresh insights and useful resources that will help participants cultivate reflective habits and new mindsets to keep building upon over the course of the semester and integrate into their everyday leadership practice moving forward. Hopefully you could tell by me reading that, even though I was going quickly, none of that means anything. There is no detail there. There is nothing valuable in that description at all. Practical tools, supportive environment, enhance your leadership skills, address challenges, fresh insights, useful resources, cultivate habits and mindsets, integrate into your everyday leadership practice. Integrate what? Reflect on what? What are you talking about? So as you'll see, as I go through this list here, all of these have this, I see this a lot on LinkedIn where people describe their experience and their skills, and it's all this business bro language that it's just these platitudes about successful innovator, and I integrate systems into synergistic technology. None of it means anything, okay? This is all gobbledygook nonsense. But it sounds good because it's got the word leadership in it. And transformation. They're going to give us brand new things that no one's ever thought of before. So there's a little description of it. It costs $495. Now, the person, I guess, running this program, of course, is a higher education leadership and strategy consultant. Another consultant. Now, one thing that is interesting about this lady, I did look her up, And she actually was a professor for a while, so that's different than most of the education consultants I see who have never had anything to do with their real classroom for any length of time. She actually was a teacher, so that's different. But of course, she got out of it because this is how she can charge $500 an hour for her or $500 a registration for her programs. Clearly, she's figured out this is way more lucrative than actually being a teacher, and so this is what she does. So again, not meaning to bash her completely, but again, this is done by a consultant, and about what? Leadership transformation, whatever that means. So that's just the first one. I thought, okay, well, that's just one. What else is on this list? Next one on the list, the Chronicle's Strategic Leadership Program for Deans. Okay, starting to see the pattern here. You just throw the word leadership in front of everything and everyone thinks that's valuable. But also, who is this leadership for? Administrators. That's who all this is for. So this one offers information for those with a stake in daily operations, the strategic priorities of the college and the priorities of the institution more broadly. The dean's role in the best of times is a balancing act. In today's turbulent higher ed landscape, even most experienced deans can be thrown off kilter. So again, they're partnering with this consulting firm, these research experts, supposedly, to help deans maintain their balance amidst uncertainty and continue to drive successful initiatives. There's another keyword. Drive successful initiatives. About what? For whom? What's the ultimate goal here exactly? Well, leadership. All right. This program is 2 weeks long and will provide participants the opportunity to workshop their executive goals and priorities, gain access to critical insights on the core functional components of the dean's role, and create a network with academic leaders from across the country to continue advancing their skills. By creating meaningful spaces for networking and convening both institutional expertise and external perspective, this leadership series will provide participants a unique opportunity to broaden their understanding of their role and create innovative strategies for today's challenges. Again, gobbledygook. Basically, this says, we're going to network with a bunch of other people. So all you people who want to meet each other, here's an opportunity to meet each other. And I guess they're going to offer us insights on core functional components. Like what? Who knows? But again, this is supposedly for administrators. All of the people involved here, again, are from this consulting research firm. All right. So yet another one for administrators. Here's one that's a little different sounding. It says the Chronicle's Women Leading Change program. Women leading change. So there's the leading part. Again, collaborating with this company to create a groundbreaking virtual leadership series that will provide critical context, creative strategies, and guided exercises for women in leadership roles across academia. Our program tracks are designed to target the areas most important to women in today's tumultuous higher ed landscape. It creates space for that essential pause, allowing you to step back, reconnect with what matters most in your leadership approach. Tools to help you lead with greater clarity, purpose, and impact. For women leaders, these universal challenges often come with an added layer, navigating persistent double standards and unequal expectations that create additional complexity. Oh yeah, it's so difficult for women in academia because many of the leadership positions I ever encountered in my many years in academics were women. So apparently they're struggling somehow. Even though we know women go to college more, women are getting better jobs these days. Women are struggling. Okay. But again, no real details about what any of this is. It's just about change and leadership. And meeting other people, I guess. Okay. Again, nothing in there about teaching, nothing in there about education in the classroom, nothing in there about improving student learning, nothing in there about scholarship and what we can be doing to improve the things we produce academically. No. It's just about leading and changing. Oh, another administration one, the Chronicle's Administrative Leadership Institute, coming in October. Talking about the old ways are crumbling, student needs are changing, declining trust, yada, yada, yada. They have developed a professional development program to help administrative leaders, again, this is for administrators, overcome the trust gap by developing skills and sensibilities related to interpersonal collaboration. Again, all gobbledygook, those words don't mean anything. Over the course of 2 weeks, participants will have the opportunity to transform their practice of shared governance through collaborative workshops and guided exercises on learning how to make tough decisions, leading with resiliency, and building high-performing teams and organizations. We don't know exactly what a high-performing team and organization looks like. We don't know what the goals are, but it's about interpersonal collaboration, apparently, right? So again, this leading person is the president of this consulting firm. This other person is a senior consultant and coach at that consulting firm. Then there's one that does sound different. Chronicle's Higher Education Mental Health Forum. Oh, mental health. Okay. Interactive sessions designed to address the growing challenges of loneliness, anxiety, and negativity that students, faculty, and staff are facing on college campuses through engaging discussions and practical strategies. All these strategies, and we don't even know what are you referencing exactly? How do you know it's a good strategy? Why don't you give us a hint as to what strategies you're talking about? Campus leaders will gain valuable insight. Okay. The lady running this one, I looked up because she is a CEO of this company where she does these speeches. She has her PhD in psychology, I guess, but she's leading this program on mental health strategies, right? But when you look at her bio very closely, it says, I'm a professional speaker and workshop facilitator, not a therapist. My presentations and workshops are not meant to take the place of professional treatment. Oh, okay. So we have someone leading these very important, very expensive programs about mental health in higher education. But the person leading them admits, well, I'm not actually a therapist. I'm just a speaker. But yet this is about mental health, which we keep being told is a very serious, like, medical problem that we're dealing with on college campuses. But the person we get to run it is someone who's not literally a health professional. She's just, as she says, a public speaker. So as you can see, a lot of these are just meant for show. Like, they're not intended to be real expertise on anything. It's just, well, I'm a professional speaker and I'm a consultant. And so I get paid hundreds of dollars to lead these initiatives and these programs. And universities jump on board with this and they encourage their faculties to do it. Another one, the Chronicle's Strategic Leadership Program for Department Chairs. Now, I don't consider a department chair to be an administrator because usually department chairs are still in the classroom as teachers. But again, this is, all of these are for higher level people. They seem to be all very similar. Another academic leadership crash course for academic professionals looking to advance their skills in preparation for administrative roles. The workshop will provide key insights for new and aspiring academic administrators on the inner workings of administrative positions. So again, the purpose of many of these is to just keep making more administrators. It's not to actually develop people professionally as educators, as scholars. So when you hear next step, professionalism, moving forward, it's not about moving forward as a great teacher, not about taking the next step and being a great scholar. No. It's about becoming an administrator or another staff member, because those are the people doing all the leadership and strategic innovations and leading change and whatever other, corporate lingo that goes on in the business world that also translates into the academic world. That's what they think is important. That's what they think the education industry really needs more of, is more of these folks who, move beyond teaching. Leave the teaching for those beginners. Those academic folks who just care about, teaching their classes and grading papers and creating lectures and tests. Those are like the commoners in the higher education world. The real successful people, the real leaders, administrators. And so let's get all of these administrators together, or people who want to be administrators, because after all, if you want to be successful as an academic, you should go into administration. Let's put them all together and we'll have these programs, and we'll have these powwows where we sit around and we create connections and we talk about these, again, strategies and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, man, how about we have some strategies about better teaching? That would be really good. How about some strategies about how we do scholarship in a better way, that, if we're in the sciences, that what we are doing actually improves replication, because that's a huge crisis going on right now, especially in the social sciences. Or in the humanities, like maybe doing more scholarship that is actually useful to the real world instead of this nonsense theory stuff, especially for my field of literary theory. Like 90% of that is garbage. That's completely pointless. How about let's figure out a way to do scholarship better? That would be good professional development. But no, everything you see on the list is about what can we do for administrators, because they're the only ones that matter. So we get the underlying message, the big theme here from the Chronicle of Higher Education. And again, this is how many people at universities think, is professional development means developing toward administration. That's the real professional part of academia. The teachers, the researchers, the writers, they don't matter. The ones who are mentoring students in their office and guiding them towards their career paths, or just about how to make really good life choices, leave those to those, those teachers. If you want to develop, if you want to improve and move forward in your career, administration and leadership is the way to go. So again, I know that's a little bit in the weeds, that many people don't think about that when they think about the world of education, but that right there, when I saw that post come across my inbox, I thought, oh, okay, now for anyone willing to look, this is what academia really is. People at the Chronicle of Higher Education, and then again at specific universities, this is how they think. They think education is just more administration. We need to have more development for deans. We need to have more development so people can become vice presidents of whatever. It's like, we have such an important opportunity for developing better students and better scholars, and they can work together in a teaching and learning environment. And instead, we spend all of our time and our money focusing on how can we create more deans? How can we get people to move away from the classroom and become vice presidents of something that no one really cares about? That's education for you. When you hear, what are the real goals? What are universities trying to do? This is one of them. It's not to focus on teaching and learning. It's to focus on more bureaucratizing of the whole establishment. Create more administrators. That's what they care about. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.